cloaked in folds of midnight waters, side by side, we sons and daughters. We set forth for no king's orders, but we'll sail together.
But we did have a big reveal, which has led into massive drama, and I want you to tell us all about Betsy's realization and the big reveal that she came up with.
So we're talking when they have pushed the ship back into the water, right?
Yes, and
they're
Betsy
on the
has
water,
come
and
to
she
the
woke up.
realization.
Okay, so Betsy has been displaying a attitude change. She's come off very snappy, and she's been like that. No, there's been some people that's commented on it, but Butcher just hasn't really noticed her change in personality. She just there. But she's been waking up. She would check her sheets to see if her time of the month had come, and it's not come, and it's not come. She's expecting it, but it's not come. And I had also introduced that a woman, to determine a pregnancy, they could pee on a wheat stalk, and if it blooms.
How did you determine that? How was that determined? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, actually, I was shocked to learn something like that too. I had watched a show called Catherine the Great, and it was in that show. She had done it, and her wheat bloomed, so she was pregnant. And I was like, I'm gonna use that, and I did. And Betsy had done that for herself. She had confirmed that she was indeed carrying a child. Now she counted back the time. She's counted over her weeks that she had missed her menstruation was supposed to come. And every time she counted, she realized that it's not Butcher's baby. It was Crowley's, or one of Crowley's men's baby. She was never to know for sure.
And this was one of my favorite parts in the entire sections that you've ever written. You used a disclaimer. Now, anybody that knows me knows I'm a huge disclaimer fan. I absolutely love them. They ward off people that might be sensitive to a subject, and they spur on people that are excited about something dark and gory. Disclaimers are the bomb. I absolutely love them. I use them for everything. I use them all the time. I just love disclaimers. But I had never seen anyone else use a disclaimer this way, and you did. And so this kind of led into a huge amount of drama that is still currently being played out. What spurred on, as a co-author, what was going through your head when you hit this disclaimer period and you started thinking about the kicking and all this stuff? And do bear in mind that abortions were very uncommon, and on a pirate ship there were several ways that they were handled. So I'll get that gruesome detail out of the way. There was a dunking, which was basically they dropped you in the ocean and left you down there for a certain amount of time until you practically drowned to death. They'd bring you back up, and they'd keep doing this for pretty much the entire day until you lost the child due to breathing issues. Then there was the kicking, which is basically a gathering of men that would kick the stomach of the pregnant individual. And then there's a medical procedure, one that they did, but it was really graphic. Like it was like it looked like a screwdriver that it was really bad. So you went with the kicking method. What happened with as a co-author? What was going through your head with all this? I was super surprised to see a disclaimer there.
Well, I wanted the disclaimer to be there because I know there are some people that read what we write, and I don't know if they're sensitive to that type of thing. You know, that there's a lot. Miscarriage is a very touchy situation with women. You know, some of them get very sensitive about it. They don't like talking about it. They don't like reading it, seeing it, you know, things like that. That was my mindset with this. And it's also it's abusive. not only to the child but to the woman too. And I didn't. If there was someone that was going to be sensitive toward it, I wanted them to know that was there. It was going to be present. And if they didn't like reading that, then they shouldn't. So that was my mindset to have that disclaimer.
It was a good one, for sure. So, where do you see, now that the drama's starting to unfold and stuff, if you, speaking to people that might be interested in this story, or they might just start following the story from here outward, what would you say to them on things they could expect or things to look forward to?
Definitely more things that might garner a disclaimer like that. You know, something that they might be sensitive toward. It's getting there. There's some more sensitive topics that are gonna pop up later.
And our whole thread has been rather sensitive based, right? I mean, we're really touching on some very sensitive subjects for the age and the time. I mean, you're talking about pirates in a time where slavery was common. We changed the way slavery is done just because, you know, I didn't make sense to me. So we just kind of opened it up and expanded it. And then we've also talked about this, and we've got other issues that have just been really sensitive and touch and go on things. The whole story is very sensitive. So if you're a very sensitive person, I would highly recommend that you not read this, because it's a very dark story. But I know on my end, there's a lot of drama planned, so you definitely don't want to miss it. If you've been following the story at all, you'll definitely want to look forward to the next part that's coming. It's getting closer, and it's really going to be great. Yeah, I think you'll like it a lot. How about you, Ipsy?
Oh, I'm quite excited for what's going to come next. I mean, I was, there's a lot of it, like the miscarriage part, I had already, that was a future plan. I had planned that way back when, like, something like that was going to happen. I wanted it to happen because I wanted it to display that she is a strong woman and that she can handle things like that.
Yeah, it was Butcher that lost his shit over this one. Butcher really lost his mind over it.
Yeah, he did. And she can't get through to him. She's trying to explain that she made the decision for him. She didn't want him to make that decision for her because she knew it would be a difficult decision for him to make. And she didn't want him to be pressed with such of a, you know, an issue. So she made that decision. And he wasn't happy about that. She won't do that again. I'm pretty sure.
So one more thing that I want to mention up before we finish this is this story has a conclusion. It is not an open-ended story. It does not last forever. It does have a conclusion. It had a beginning. It will have an end. And, you know, it's taking a while to get there because it's a very detailed, very complex story that we've created. This world has been created, and there's references to check back on the world thread and see where, you know, where they are, what they're talking about, what this is like, what that's like. But this story does have a conclusion. It will find an end. Is there anything that you would like to say to all your fans out there before we end our interview?
Definitely stick around for what comes next, because you're not expecting it.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks very much for watching. If you're interested, you know, pick up the story and start reading it, or just wait for the next line of interviews to come. They'll be here eventually. Thanks very much. Take care. Say bye, Betsy, or Ipsy.
Bye.
See ya.